Good, happy Tuesday morning, January 21, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. We are broadcasting live here in our Washington, D.C. studio. Let's begin with this morning news report. Mitch McConnell issues proposed rules for impeachment trial as Dems cry foul. The impeachment trial is set to begin in earnest today. For a president who likes a good show and seems to thrive on chaos, the opening of his impeachment trial Tuesday could give him exactly that. Sources on Capitol Hill expect the first full day of the trial to be something of a political food fight. At the heart of that debate is whether or not to call witnesses who Democrats claim have first-hand knowledge of the president's alleged pressure campaign against Ukraine. Rather than the stayed proceedings of Bill Clinton's impeachment trial in 1999, which followed a close script known to the public with opening arguments by the House impeachment managers. The choreograph of President Donald Trump's impeachment trial is something of a question mark that could see the chamber, known for its decorum and hearty debate, run entirely off script, if not off the rails. Ahead of Tuesday's trial, sources close to the president's legal team argued the articles of impeachment against Trump are definite on their face because they fail to state any violation of law. In the 110-page trial brief, lawyers for the president rejected the articles as a friendly political act and argued that even if the president did raise the issue of the Bidens and or in the course of engaging with Ukraine, there would be nothing wrong with that so long as the president was seeking to advise the public interest. For now, much of what will happen Tuesday hearings on how long this political slugfest continues, a senior administration official predicted it is highly unlikely opening arguments happen Tuesday, and that could complicate the push by GOP leaders and the White House to compress the schedule. However, the White House has said it's extraordinarily unlikely the trial goes beyond 2 weeks. Once Chief Justice John Roberts gavels the trial to order and the opening prayer to give by Senate Chaplain Barry Black and impeachment proclamation by Sergeant at Arms Michael Stenger, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is expected to make a motion to take up his majority-only resolution that lays out the guidelines for the first phase of the trial. The McConnell measure released Monday night condemns opening arguments by the managers and Trump lawyers to 24 hours each over 2 days prior side, followed up to 16 hours of questioning via written special submissions by senators. Democrats say a setup involving 12-hour days amount to GOP efforts to cancel the president's alleged misconduct by conducting the trial in the dead of night when the American public is less likely to be paying attention. On the crucial issues of whether or not to call witnesses, senators will vote up or down after the questioning period. Immediately following a 4-hour period of debate on the issues, key GOP senators like Susan Collins of Maine and Utah's Mitt Romney, who have expressed interest in subpoenaing certain witnesses instead that this language to be included. Democrats were rallied up by the GOP leader's exclusion of evidence not in the record at time of the December 18th House impeachment vote. It appears that any evidence related to Levi Parnes, a key associate of Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, would not be permitted. Parnes has been turning over evidence to congressional investigators that he argues is potential to their impeachment investigation. Democrats who have been releasing the evidence publicly argue that Republicans say no new evidence should be included is completely out of sync with how trials are done, and say any evidence that is in the public record should be considered. Democrats are expected to try to amend McConnell's trial rules with a request for witness in Democrat documents according to sources familiar with their plans, but because of impeachment rules, no senator is allowed to debate anything in public. That leaves the debate before cameras to both the House managers and the newly minted Trump legal team. Each side would likely get up to an hour to speak. It will be the first time the public will see both sets of opponents on the Senate floor, seated at tables specially arranged for the occasion. McConnell's resolution is expected to include time for a motion to call witness after senators have had a chance to ask their questions of both sides. Senator John Corey, Republican of Texas, confirmed. This was important to middle of-the-road GOP senators like Susan Collins of Maine and Alaska's Lisa Miskarski, as well as Romney. Collins signaled in a statement Thursday night that she is likely to support calling witnesses. And back in New Hampshire, Granite State voters say they're interested in impeachment trial. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Kristen Carosa.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
Back in September, Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced that the House would initiate a formal impeachment inquiry against President Trump. Now it's the eve of the Senate trial.
I'm definitely interested to see if it's going to completely go through.
My focus is more, what is our plan for the election? Either way.
Some told us President Trump should be held accountable. Others say the trial simply should not be happening.
Yes, I'm paying attention. It interests me. I think the man is a maniac and should be thrown out.
Trump has done a lot more in my generation than any other president has. I mean, yeah, he's stubborn, he's harsh with his words, but he gets it done.
Others have been paying attention to what the presidential candidates campaigning here in New Hampshire are saying about the impeachment. U.S. Representative Tulsi Gabbard is the only candidate so far who's been able to vote on the impeachment issue, but she didn't cast a yes or no vote.
Tulsi Gabbard, voting president, I would have more faith in her if she'd voted no. I mean, to vote president, I think it's something you need to take a stand on.
Senators Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Michael Bennet, and Amy Klobuchar will be present for the trial, which is time away from the campaign trail ahead of the New Hampshire primary.
I think the major business is in Washington for those people that are involved with it. That's where they need to be.
Now, the Senate will decide whether to remove the president from office, but many voters will be watching the actual process to learn more about the case in general. Live in the newsroom, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And the trial will be starting at 1 p.m. today. Live coverage of that trial will begin at 1 p.m. today. And we will be sure to share you that live coverage of that trial today, right here on the Riley King Network. And that does it for my morning news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another news report. Goodbye, everyone.